Good morning. What's happening out there in G-land? Anything good? Well, I've been trying to do a video for the last couple of days, but just been a little bit busy. As you probably gathered, in Thailand, they've had a lot of rain and a lot of flooding. So I'll explain what's going on here. Listen closely. Can you hear the waterfall? That's not my waterfall, the one I was building. Let me just show you a view of my garden. That's it. And that's the river right there. See the river? All the way over the other side. All the way over the other side. And then the river. And then it comes all the way up to the garden. Remember, for those who've watched me long enough, you see that tree, the tall tree right in the middle, well, tall, a couple of meters, 4 meters tall. That's the edge where you go down to the river normally. So that's like 6 meters to the bottom where the water normally sits, ish. Look at that now. Comes right across here. And onto the road. Crazy, huh? What's funny is, from this way, you know, there's a house here, going that way towards the village is dry. I haven't been this way, but Jan says it's dry. So my property is the lowest point where it crosses over to the other side. I'm like, interesting. I didn't build this place. I didn't put the dirt down in the early days or anything like that. I've been in here 5.5 years or something. 6 years, something like that. And you know, we had rain where it come up to the edge of the water. No real big deal. I have to keep stopping because I've turned into a local tourist attraction. Everybody wants to come see. Falang's house is flooded. There's a lot of other people who are flooded. There's a guy who I don't know well, who lives across the street. He's probably older than me. Walk here somehow barefoot. I don't know if he's got his boat somewhere, but he come to help clear the leaves and stuff that's holding it all back. Amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to try to say earlier is on the edge of the river, it's come up to about 6 inches below that. And I'm like, that's okay, you can do that every year, I don't care. But Jan says it hasn't rained like this in over 10 years. So, kind of a nightmare. Anyway, let me show you the house. But, you know, Jan and I can tell you what, she's a trooper. You know, she's got her house to take care of and her dad. And but Dad, you know, Dad keeps telling her to come help me because they've got theirs squared away. She's been telling me all these stories about how bad they flood, and they don't have any water in their garden yet, which is good. But so she comes and helps me, which is really nice. And she's coming soon. I bought another pump for out the back yesterday. Got it home. Thought, okay, I'll pump it out later on. I had other jobs to do. You know, just been working crazy for 2 weeks because the water just keeps coming up. Anyway, put it in the back last night, turned the pump on, it don't work. The electric side works, but the impeller is obviously broken off the shaft or something. Crazy. Oh, I forgot to show you something. So I gotta change that pump today, and then I can put that in the back. But let me just show you the field again. So I don't know if I've jinxed something because I always talk about waterfalls, but look at this. So when that fills up, it'll go around behind those fences and then start coming up the road over to their house. So this is my front gate in the hedge, and the water's coming out all over, look. Look at this. Just talking about Jan, and look who comes. Good morning. Look at her. Tired? How many hours you sleep?
I worry about here a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
Are you still dry? Your place?
yeah,
Good, good.
at my area from yesterday to from tonight to this morning, that said 2 centimeters.
But still not in the house? Very good.
Because the drain.
Yeah.
If that not block the drain, that will show you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Right.
right now, we have water.
I was just saying to the guys, I think I jinxed the rain because I keep talking about waterfalls, and now I have my own real waterfall.
Yeah.
You got to be careful what you ask for. I think they're going to have to bring some sandbags though, because there's the main water pipe that goes to that down the road. I guess it'll be okay for now, but they should protect it, because that water supplies everybody down this end. Here we go. So there's the road, and there's my gate, and there's the river. So it comes from the river, straight past my front door, straight out my gate, and over the road. I was just talking to Jan, and she said she was worried about me yesterday because I have not had very much sleep, 2-3 hours a night for like a week or more, you know, up fixing things and that. So here's my front door. Okay, that's holding so far. That's 3 blocks tall, that is, and it's working. And it's dry in there. I got a pump in there. Tiny little bits of water come in, but hardly anything. You got condensation from the AC. The house looks a mess. It's just, everything's a mess. But I give up now. You see that line there? Well, that edge is the line between the concrete floor and the walls of the house. So I just hope and pray that it doesn't leak, because if those walls are only a 2-inch breeze block, and they're not going to hold the water back. Inside the house, I put 2 blocks. I've used silicone as opposed to cement. Let me see if I can show you. See there? And yesterday while I was gone, Jan destroyed the house but put everything up on blocks. So if it gets in the house, everything's off the floor. So if these blocks out here break and it gets inside the front door, then it's higher, so the silicone should be able to hold it. What a mess though. I've been building here and oh, crazy. So got a little sticky, the little metal in there, you can see that. Yesterday Jan and I were sitting on this bench here eating some lunch, and that was about 2 inches, the water was about 2 inches from the top. This morning it was a little bit farther down. So normally what happens is they let the water out and then it takes time, but I think that water on the road is going to get stronger, not weaker. But the good thing is my house, you know, it's not going up. Yesterday this was all dry. You could still stand over here. That's the edge with the hose. That's my little pump that I water the garden with. I took the pump out already. Birds. Look at this. You can't even change your water now. Crazy. Just put more water in it and it'll overflow. One fell in the water and died. But they're okay. There's another view, look. I'm not going to go in there. But Jan and Mr. Monk, while I was building stuff and fixing stuff, Jan and Mr. Monk put everything in the workshop up on the tables. The inside the workshop is knee high, my knee high. So about 2 foot something, I don't know, 1.5 feet of water inside the workshop. Those barrels are full of different bits and pieces and just sat up there. But everything's off the floor. I've lost a few things, not too much, just, you know, everything's replaceable, but it's money in it. But I also went over to the waterfall yesterday. I took the pump out of there too. I couldn't get to it quicker because I was trying to get the house ready. But it only just got a little tiny bit of water on it at the back end. So I cut it loose, undid the bolts, unplugged it, brought it to the workshop, put it on the bench, and turned it so the water can get out. So it didn't get in the electrics at all. So today I want to go over there and remember that timer circuit board thing I made? That's still out of the water, so I want to get that out just in case. So this is the side where the river is. Normally you can sit here and the edge is about, you see that stick right there? That's about the edge normally. Jan made Sugar when I went out yesterday to get another pump. Jan made Sugar a table to sit on. There she is. There she is. What's happening over here, Sugar? Jan made this yesterday. This is the door, a metal frame and some wood. Huh? What do you think? Not impressed, huh? Not impressed at all. So I've been around here working. So I made this, right? Look, I made this yesterday, or I made it a couple days ago. And because it dried too fast, it got cracks in it. So I fixed the cracks. Whew. And then this concrete here is so old, it has a little crack in it, so it's full. Same level as this side. So I bought a pump yesterday, and guess what? This doesn't work. So John's going to take it back for me and swap it. That plastic was, I kept it. It was to cover a mattress, really thick plastic. So I siliconed the door shut from the bottom to a meter up, all across the bottom. I mean, I probably got 2 tubes of silicone just around the door. 2 tubes. And then I cut a piece of that plastic, washed it and let it dry, and then silicone that to the wall to protect the wood. I mean, look at it. You can see the silicone. There's lots and lots in there. So the door, even around the door panels inside the door, is siliconed. Wash the door, everything. So it basically go up to the top of that plastic without going into the house. But I want to get that fixed too. Jan's panicking a little bit about it. So here's a laugh though. Here's a little laugh. Yesterday I was out here working, mixing cement to put. I had 2 blocks around the front door, and Jan's dad said I would put 3. So when she come here, she told me. I said okay. So I was mixing cement right where I'm standing, and I could hear this bloop, 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 bloop. I thought, what is that? And I looked over, and the septic system, or the septic tank, is now full of water. So that's good. So probably not a good idea to try to use it. So yesterday, Jan says, just get a stool. So I went and bought a stool yesterday, a little milking stool, small, right? Like a real small one. Cut a hole in it, found a flower pot and some plastic bags. So I'm like, how back can it get? But it's just funny, right? Sit on this little milking stool, poo through the hole into a bag, and then tie it up and do what with it? I don't know yet. But we got that and some toilet paper, so you just have to keep smiling. A couple people said to me, how come you don't get all upset and bent out of shape about it? What's the point? What can you do? You know, this happens for This is the first time this has happened in, say, for argument's sake, six years. So, but I have a plan. I definitely have a plan. Anyway, I think that's the end of another video. So I don't know when you're going to see this, but I'll post it as soon as I can. So remember, buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. All the very best, guys. Look after yourself.